I'm the world champion, sucker. No one's gonna take it from me.
All right, we are live. Oh, there's another one. Oh, jeez. We are live and here with also.
Ooh. What's up, dog? He's all up in my shit today, dog.
What's up, big dog?
Bro. I got some takes.
Okay. Well, before we begin, welcome back to The Wise Guys. Another episode. We just got done watching Dune Part 2. And
Directed by Denis Villeneuve. Starring Timothy
Chalamet.
Camel Toe Chandelier Chalamet. You know what? I told you this maybe a couple weeks ago too. A couple months ago. I hated Timothy Chalamet. I still kind of do, but damn.
Acting performance.
Honestly, I really don't. To be honest, I think he did a good job. Like I do think I don't think he did anything that just was
stole
amazing.
The show.
Like you know what I mean? It wasn't. He wasn't Barry.
No.
He's not Barry Keoghan. You know, he's not our boy.
No, I would say for the role he has, he's kind of like. I'm trying to make a comparison here.
I honestly thought Austin Butler outperformed him.
Oh,
if we're being completely honest, it would be
easily. He stole the show.
Like Boston, I was like, hey man, in a movie where our boy Dave Bautista, where we love Dave Bautista, and especially for me because you know, big wrestling fan. So, bro, Austin Butler killed that shit.
Oh, easily.
Oh my fucking god.
Would you say he's kind of like you've seen Lord of the Rings, right? Would you say he's kind of like Frodo in that way, like Elijah Wood,
like
Timothy, like where he's carrying the show.
I feel
like he's carrying it, like he's doing his thing, like he's the one who's destined for greatness, and he's here to take us from point A to point B. Like that's how I feel about Timothy Chalamet in this movie. He, I know it's not the strongest argument or comparison, but it's something that I think that he does good enough for the job that he's doing. Yeah. Like for me, I would say Austin Butler. The little bit of Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah.
Zendaya, and
I thought Stilgar did a great job. I loved every moment he was on screen. I was, I don't know, I just could not stop no homo, but I just bro, he just I'm bro, this dude is so funny. He's cool as shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean?
That's the fourth one. All those guys did such a fantastic job.
Also, I'm sorry, another one, bro, because when I was watching the first one, I was like, bro, this woman is fucking incredible, but Jessica, I love her. I love her. That woman, I thought I saw her in more stuff. I thought she was what's his name's wife in Seven, but that's not her.
That's good Lord, it's
she's that lady's also Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes.
That's who I thought that's who it was, and I'm like, bro, is that girl Gwyneth? And I'm like, oh no, that's not.
No, it's Gwyneth. It's not Gwyneth.
But I'm like, bro, this woman is great. I really enjoy her. I enjoy every moment of her on screen. You know, honestly, there really wasn't any bad. You know,
everyone did an absolutely perfect job.
I kind of wish we could have got more from Bautista. I thought he died like a bitch, but that's my.
I wanted to see more of their world. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I forgot what people they are. I feel so bad. The Fremen. I wanted to see more of the Fremen and their world. I mean, we got a taste of it, and I thought it was so cool. Because I want to see more of these villains and more of these bad guys, so to speak. But they're not really bad guys. They're just people raged against war, and how they did it was just such a really great execution. There are minor things I would say. Mm-hmm. Whenever we talked about on our way drive back, when I said spoiler alerts, I guess if you haven't seen the movie, well, it just came out, so spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
Where Paul, or Timothy's character, he went to like the south, and then he drank the water of life or something like that, and then it was Zendaya with like the ship that's coming down. I'm like, when did you get the ship? So like, there's little things if you want to gripe about it, but overall, I would say the movie is probably hands down one of the most gorgeous looking movies I've seen
ever.
I would say
God.
Oppenheimer was so well executed, so well cinematography. I would say, Dune Part 2 did such a much better job because, like,
I'm sorry, but like, it's I feel like the last like 3 movies that the last like 4 or 5 like 4 movies that we went to go see, like Dune
Poor
Part
Things.
2, Poor Things, I thought was fucking beautiful. I thought Iron Claw was beautiful. I really thought I thought like at the time like Killers of the Flower Moon was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And but I do think like it's been, and it makes sense for it to be like for a Denis Villeneuve movie to be, the most beautiful. And I'm sure like the next Chris Nolan movie would be.
Yeah, I think
beautiful movie.
if what's crazy, I think this movie did come out last year because it was supposed to come out in August.
Right.
This would have been, without a question of the doubt, one of the best Oscars to ever watch.
Oh, easily, without a doubt.
Like it
would have been so hard for those.
Like, who the fuck do you even choose?
Right.
Like, who would you choose? Because like all of them did great. I loved Poor Things. I loved Killers of the Flower Moon. I love Godzilla -1. Loved Iron Claw. Loved Oppenheimer.
Even a movie that came out on Netflix, fucking They Clone Tyrone. I thought that movie was amazing. Like, to be honest,
Still need to see it.
it's so good.
I just
bro.
don't have
like,
Netflix.
Not that it was so amazing, but I thought it was a great fucking movie. Like,
There's a lot of movies that got snubbed.
Yeah,
there's
honestly.
a lot of movies that got snubbed. So
fucking, I mean, a movie that I like, but a lot of people probably won't, and is also a beautiful fucking movie. Is Beau is Afraid. Like, as crazy as that shit is, like, that is a beautiful movie.
I didn't see the movie, but I watched
Foundflix.
Foundflix. So I watched it. I watched a little bit more about it. I was like, bro, this movie's wild.
Wow. But like,
but I still want to watch it.
Yeah,
like,
you got to.
Like, at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm invested. So like, I still want to watch the movie. I would say like, there's a lot of good movies that came out last year.
Oh yeah.
But if Dune Part 2 would have came out, because like now,
do you think it would have been overshadowed a little bit?
No. I think it would have been on par with everything else. Like, would you say it's? Yes, in some cases, just depends on where your list is at. But like, if this came out in 2023, I don't know if my list would have changed as much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because like,
I think my top 3 is like pretty. I think like I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think when we did make that video, did we? I don't know if we had seen Poor Things at the time.
Because like, now you gotta. Well, technically, we got a 5. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So like, now you can shuffle where you want it to be. Because like, Poor Things would be up there.
Like, that's probably like number 2 for me. Like, I'm being so serious. That's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. Like, ever.
Yeah.
Like,
thank God we saw it on Tuesday too, man.
On the fucking Tuesday.
I know. So like, I would say that. I mean, Godzilla -1 is still number 1 for me, but Iron Claw, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and then like that 5th one would be a hard one for me if Dune Part 2 would have came out this year.
Maybe probably would have been out.
Yeah, but I think this year, if you're talking about overshadowing,
I think it came out at the perfect time.
Yeah,
like I think
it's gonna be anonymous.
Huh?
It's almost gonna be anonymous.
What do you mean?
Like anonymous for almost every Oscar category.
Oh yeah.
Editing, sound, special effects.
Yeah.
Cinematography, directing, actors.
Unanimous.
Yeah. Costume design.
Yeah,
makeup artist,
everything. Like, bro.
Hans Zimmer. It was the
that
one
was,
who
he
composed it.
See, I was gonna say because like I kind of do feel like it came out like yeah, it sucked for us having to wait this long, but I do feel like this it came out at the perfect time because like what other movies does it have to compete with right now? Like, cause like the big thing is like, especially like for the first one was like it needs to like get like it has to have like a decent box office for us to get the second one. And so I'm so glad that it came out like now, where you have nothing to really compete with. There's not a lot of movies like that are about to drop right now, you know, that are actually like people want to see. And so like you're gonna like because I was wondering like going into this, like, is this gonna like this isn't Star Wars, so like is this gonna have like a good box office, like, you know what I mean? And I think, especially by word of mouth, I do think like this is gonna end up like, I don't know if it's gonna break like $1 billion or anything, but I do think it's, I don't know what the budget was on this, but I do think it gets to at least 500 to 600 million.
I think if Oppenheimer worldwide almost made $1 billion.
But see, that's Chris Nolan though.
Yeah,
and like,
well, I mean, people are gonna start to know the name because
I think this is gonna be the movie, like for sure.
Yeah, because like Nolan's rise to fame was Dark
Batman.
Knight. Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah. So I think this is gonna be his.
This is Dark Knight.
But what's even crazier is that this isn't an IP that you're familiar with.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it kind of cool. It's kind of like if you want to draw a comparison, that's why I kind of brought up Frodo. It's like when Peter Jackson went from Lord of the Rings. So anything Peter Jackson puts his name attached to, you're like, oh shit, I gotta watch that. See this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of with me now. I mean, I've always loved all his movies. I love Prisoner. I love Sicario.
You put me on Sicario.
Yes.
All you had to do was play that soundtrack.
That soundtrack is beautiful.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching this soon.
Yeah. There's another movie he made called I think it's called Public Enemy. That's the only movie I haven't seen of him, but everything else.
A short film that came out like 1998. Apparently, like it's like really fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I was like, that's awesome.
So like, Arrival is fantastic. Like, everything he's touched has turned to gold.
Everything, and you love Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Like I've only seen like the beginning of it, but like that just the beginning scene with Batista, I was like, oh my fucking god, like this is incredible. Like this just looks beautiful. Like what is this?
And it was him and one of my favorite cinematographers ever is Roger Deakins, and those two compared together as like literally, if you want to put in sports reference, that's like Tom Brady with Randy Moss.
Like literally, like that's unfair. Like, you know what I mean? Like bro, like that's fucking unfair. Like to have like those two put together.
Yeah.
Who's the cinematographer of this one? Was it him?
No, it was not. It was someone different. Not. I think he's been with them. He's been with them since Dune 1, and I want to say. Don't quote me on this, but I know he did another movie with him before. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which one it was, but I know he was with Dune Part 1.
Yeah.
And then he was with him in Part 2. He, like, praised him a lot.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
He fucking deserves it.
There were so many great shots, but as I said, my favorite shot is that point down shot where Timothy is walking down, and it's like a religious thing.
Yeah. At the end, or?
It's getting near the end. It's like before the war starts.
When he's like saying like I'm the listener.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's like outside. That shot was fucking incredible.
Bro, I'm sorry, but like I don't know. You probably heard me a couple of times where I'm just like, oh my fucking god. Like when I'm watching the movie.
I did.
Because like bro, like early in the movie, bro, like it's like literally like one of the first scenes. Like bro, like I'm sorry, but like. So like when it's them on Arrakis in like that first scene and like. And Zendaya says to be quiet.
Oh, that
and he just wakes up. That whole shit. But like, there's a shot where it's Jessica, and I think it's right before she kills this dude.
Oh yeah, and they're like silhouette, and she gets a rock and bashes it over. No, that shit was fantastic.
And at the end, like when you probably heard me again, I was like, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. But like it was. Right before Paul and Faye Rotha, right before they fight, and their silhouette. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just a fan of silhouette. Like
I love silhouette shots. I love that last shot though with Zendaya, and she's just angry.
Just her face and shit.
Like that's when I was like,
the moon.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna be the one who.
Killed. Yeah.
That's my
facts.
I do a thing, and I have like a perfect timing whenever I know when a movie ends. I'll just do this, and it's usually like a second later or right on time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the movie's gonna end.
Yeah, that was just like too good of a shot to pass up.
Yeah, so when I do that, I'm like, movie's over. Yeah. So like, and it did it right then. I was like, okay, yeah, that was perfect. That movie was perfect. That was a perfect ending.
Because I ain't gonna lie, like I was thinking like it was gonna end when And I was like, damn, I thought this movie was longer. But like when when he was saying like, on the
oh yeah,
like during that scene, I was like, bro, please don't end, bro. Like I need more, no homo. I was like, bro, I need a little bit more, bro. And we kept
on going.
We kept like, bro, we got like some of the greatest shit I've ever seen.
Well, I
in
thought
film. Period.
It was one of the greatest. Yeah, I would easily say
Period.
One of the craziest things in my mind was like, where do you even go? Because like you killed.
Basically, like the entire
the entire order, the entire thing. So it's kind of like
it's been built up, like the Atreides versus the Harkonnen, and you just killed them all.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, oh, where's this gonna lead to?
Right.
Where's this gonna go?
Right.
And now then, whenever that ending happened, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Like when she was saying, or the
mom.
Somebody, I think it was the mom. Somebody said that, oh yeah, like what she said, like this will now start the holy war.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
So it's kind of like, if you want to put it in history, it's like the Holy Crusade.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly like where my mind went. I was like, this makes too much sense, type shit. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason why I was gonna say like this is almost like such an important film, and that's why I really wanted you to watch. I should have been sent you it, but it was this dude on Twitter or on YouTube, AltSwiftX, did a great breakdown of this film, comparing it to the book, compared the first one to the book and to and the movie and shit, and just saying like differences and shit. But he was saying basically like this the whole book is basically about religion and government, but like.
How the way they twisted it,
right?
Like
and
how the witches,
exactly, and like prophecies and shit, and like how they twist it, and
one of my favorite,
and why you can't like really like fall for it.
One of my favorite lines delivered was Zendaya's line when she was like, "This is how they keep us."
Exactly.
That was like that was a powerful, powerful thing.
I think that was like what like I think that
was a powerful.
That's like the epitome of. Because we're two dudes that haven't read the book. We're probably gonna end up reading it at some point, but because this shit is so fire. But like, this is like I think like that's basically like the epitome of Dune.
Yeah.
Or of even like religion or government. Itself, you know what I mean? Like politics. Like like I think like
just twisting
it just makes
something.
Too much sense. Like we were just talking about The Wire, and like that's like you can say that's exact same thing about The Wire. Talking about Littlefinger's character.
Yeah.
The exact same thing.
No. We got some time. We got 12 minutes. I was just making sure that we're gonna. Yeah. But no, like to add on to that. Yeah, no, it was a perfect thing. I think overall, as far as how it speaks to our time and how it speaks to everything, like it's exactly in the right time,
right?
With the political and religion, and how it has such a deploy, and they did it in such a beautiful way, because it's kind of like the chosen one, like that whole trope of storytelling. And how do you twist it almost in a way of like, this guy is the chosen one. He's getting all these like not powers, but like he can do all these things that are really hard to do.
Right.
But then turning it in a way it's like reflecting the real world. Such an incredible job.
Right.
Because like now you're starting to see, now it's the Holy War. Now it's the start of everything. And as whenever the mother was talking to the other witch, saying like, you chose the wrong side, and she's like, there is no wrong side.
Yeah.
You should have known that. I was like, damn. Those are like the two most important lines for me in that movie, because that line and then Zendaya's line. Those two were such an important key element to the movie, and why I'm like, okay, yeah, this movie is definitely top 50 for me, because it has to do with a reflection of the real world versus the little tropes and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I could see it as more as like a timepiece versus like a lore, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't think it's a lore. I think it's more of a timepiece.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because I feel, especially like watching the movie, and I one thing I did notice where I felt like, not even to make it like a race thing or anything, but I just felt like when you're watching it and like you see a lot of black and a lot of
like
brown people, like literally, and I'm like, all right, like
in the desert,
desert.
I was like, all right, you're playing really close,
and like this, and then when you see Stilgar, like he's like we're praying, like he like lays the mat down, like he like prays. I think it's north or
yeah.
I don't want to get it wrong. I shouldn't have even said that, but like I want to say it's you pray north or something like that in Muslim
yeah.
When you pray.
But the way they pray, they do it like this, and I thought
and I was like, that's cool as shit. Like, I guess like it's like you have to like throw water on you or something. I was like, that's really cool. Like, I love that.
I love that part when he said,
like when they're outside, and, like he's doing that, and like it's just like another thing. Like I was like, bro, like this is just too much like religion. Like this entire movie, like you know,
it's a great coming of age for Timothy's character and Austin Butler's character.
Yeah.
Of them trying to find their own ways. And I love that fight scene, that ending. But I also like whenever Timothy was like very... Because they're both the prophecy, if that makes sense. Like they're both like the one.
Yeah.
And I like how he says like, may your sword or whatever like breaks. And he was serious. And the other guy's like, or Austin's character is like, I don't give a shit.
He's like, yeah, whatever, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the difference. I was like, that's the difference.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's...
See, I do wonder, though, like, because they did test them with the box and shit.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, what happens? Like, what's going on with that? You know, like, where's that going? Like, did they have something else planned? Like,
well, I think they're planning
under their sleeve.
Well, I think like what they were saying is that they wanted him to be under their control, so that they can use him to basically be the prophecy, because they have many people that are the prophecy, that are
that they thought were gonna be.
Yeah, that they have many contendants.
Because like I think they were saying that what Jessica was supposed to do was have a daughter, and the daughter was gonna marry Fade.
Yeah.
And their child would have
been the prophecy. Well, that was kind of the interest. That part threw me for a fucking loop. Like whenever Timothy saw, like whenever his mom was born.
That's crazy.
And that's the reason why he had them spared.
Let me say something, bro, just really quick.
Yeah.
This is going to be very controversial. I think that moment right there was so much better than the Luke, I am your father. I'm sorry.
Really?
I thought so. Like, the entire time I was watching that, I was like, bro, this is what, like, bro, oh
my jaw did drop.
Yeah, like, bro, we both were like, oh my fucking God. Like, I heard you say, like, oh my God, like, what? Like, I heard you shifting your chair. I heard a lot of people shifting their chair after they did that shit. Like,
and he was like,
shit was crazy,
and he
bro.
was like, you didn't know? And she was like,
I didn't. Like, and that's what really fucked me up, was the fact that she didn't know either. She's like, I'm just finding out. I'm like, oh wow, like this is now this story just goes for like a whole nother level at this point. You know, like
that's the reason why they protected them, because they're half
Harkonnen.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what the fuck?
But
that fucked me up.
But then, what's his name now?
Their dad?
The Baron, Vladimir Baron Vladimir.
Are you talking about Paul's dad?
Not Paul's dad, but the main Harkonnen.
Oh,
the fat nigga. Still,
yeah, that's the grandpa.
Yeah, so like,
does he know?
Does he know? Like,
I think so. Well, because that's the reason why he had him spared.
Because in that, okay, yeah. Because I'm just thinking, like, because in that last scene, like before
he says hello, grandpa.
like did he give a confused look, or like did he say like huh?
Like more like a huh look.
That's why I was like,
yeah, maybe.
And he knows that that's Jessica's child. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, did he know? Like, or like now I want to know about that. Like, did they like cast her off or something? Did they say like, oh, you can only have sons or something? Or
maybe that'll be more explained in the third one. Because like now they can see the past and the future, or they can see glimpses of different parts of the future where they could be, but the past is already written, so they can see whatever the fuck is going on in the past. So maybe they'll explain a little bit more in the third one. I just thought it was excellent, because it's kind of like, you know, it reminds me of whenever you find out that Jon Snow is Targaryen,
right,
and he's like the true heir to the throne,
right.
That's what it reminded me of. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, this is like one of the greatest parts, scenes, whatever.
Almost like moments in like TV history, basically.
Yeah,
like
and then that's kind of the same feeling I got with that. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
I was like, that changes a lot of things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I'm looking at this story like a whole different way now. Like now I'm looking at like the way he interacts with Faye. Like, you know, that's your cousin or some shit now. You know?
Yeah.
Like now I'm looking at like, okay, you killed your grandpa. Like I get that.
And
like
you killed your cousin.
Like, you know? And he didn't know. Like I'm sure he knew that what's his name was gonna kill Raban, Dave Bautista. But I'm like, bro, like you just killed your whole lineage now. Like, you know, and your Atreides lineage is gone already too. So it's literally just you and
your mom.
And
now your sister.
Keep forgetting about her. Bro, this man. That, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like on the way home, I was like, bro, I don't know if I can wait. I don't know how long. I don't even know if they started filming the next movie. I was like, bro, I may have to like watch something that like tells me what happens, because I don't know if I could wait 3 to 4 more years for another movie. Like I don't know if I can. Like this is one I'm gonna have to spoil.
Yeah.
Like,
cause like you're like, what the fuck?
I need to know what happens next. This shit is way too crazy, bro.
Yeah, this is the third one, so I'm wondering. I kind of, it's funny, because whenever G1 said like which was longer.
Yeah,
same. I was like, yeah, which was longer.
Same.
Like I was thinking about it, I was like, I thought it was perfect, and then I already thought about it, I was like, nah, it should have been longer.
Yeah.
Because like, I wanted to know a little bit more that was going on, and maybe like with some of the cuts that happened, I'm thinking, call me crazy, I think there's a director's extended cut.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it'll come out like a year or two from now too. Yeah. You know.
I think there's a cut.
Like I'm sure there's like a cut that like explains like how like
certain the things that happen.
Like, how like that scene that you were talking about when Zendaya just like comes down. Like, I'm sure, like they explain that.
Yeah, because I want to know, because I'm like, I feel like whenever they did the editing session, they were like, oh, we can cut this out. We can cut that out.
Right. Because I was thinking that too. Like while I was like I wonder like what exactly they cut out.
Yeah.
You know, like how like, 'cause especially like in a time like where like 3 hours, like the 2 best movies that came out last year, to me, and
Oppenheimer
and like those are 3 hour, damn near 3 hour 30-minute movies. Like, you know, like in a world like where we're
okay with that.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, damn, like Danny, like we want more. Like you should have did like you know like
Batman was 3 hours.
Come on, bro, and literally like, and the thing was I'm not gonna lie, I'm so mad that I had to take like 2 or 3 pee breaks like during that movie. But I'm like, damn, like, I still felt like I didn't miss a lot. And I'm like, bro, I still felt like I could have went for like another hour. Like,
easily.
You know? Like, I'm at no point was I like, bro, like, when is this going to end? Like, how much time is left?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, how much time is left because I still want to watch more of this, you know?
Yeah, I was like, oh, God, please be long. Please be long.
Yeah.
Please be long.
And I didn't check, like, how long the movie was beforehand. So I was like,
didn't either.
Please be, like, at least 240. And I think that's kind of where it was.
Yeah. Goddamn, yeah. That's the only thing. I wish it was a little bit longer so I knew a little bit more about some of these other characters. Outside of that, as I said, the movie's damn near perfect. I really have no other complaints about it. Yeah, as I said, I think the lore of it is really well. But as I said, even before, I know I'm kind of like contradicting myself a tiny bit. The lore is great, but as I said, I think it's a timepiece. I think it's just something that's so reflective of like the world we live in, but also the world that they're showing to us. And Denise did it in such like a beautiful way of showing like what power is, and like when Zendaya said like I thought you didn't like power, and at the end he's like, no, I am power. Yeah. So like now the power is gonna get to his head, the prophecy is gonna get to his head, and then the third movie, I cannot wait. I don't know how they're gonna fit the last, because remember the third is it. I think the third is the last movie.
Yeah, probably most likely.
So like, how are you gonna wrap up the last 3 books?
Make it a 4-hour fucking movie.
That's what I hope. So,
hey, we need it. Let me ask you though, like, Joseph Anthony Saint Laurentiis Flores.
Bro, stop. People are actually going to think that's my name. Someone's going to think that's my name. That's not my name.
He was born in San Juan.
Mexico.
I think that's Puerto Rico.
Oh, shit.
You racist. You bastard. But nah. Justin, let me ask you, dog.
Yes.
So, all right. Let's just assume. Well, let me tell you this first. So,
okay,
the first 2 Star Wars movies, right?
Like episode 4, episode 5, or episode 1,
episode 4,
episode
episode 5, right?
Okay.
The original George Lucas.
Okay.
I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, me and you would probably rate that as like a 7 to 7.5 ish. As a twosome. Maybe 7 to 7.5, maybe an 8. Maybe,
that's crazy.
Maybe
I would say
something like that. A little twosome, little one-on-one, little menage a trois. I think that's 3, but same thing. Fuck it.
I would say very close to an 8.
Very close to an 8.
I would say very close to an 8.
Okay.
Like, because that's like, so, you know, whenever you open up with like A New Hope and even with Empire Strikes Back, I think those 2 are like the greatest Star Wars movies ever back to back. Because episode 6 is great. It's not the best,
you
but
think so?
Yeah, because I think those 2 kind of set up like the first one shows you the lore, the world, what it means, who these people are, this ancient artifact that existed. People are trying to find the rebels, but there's another word for that. It's called terrorist.
Right.
So they're trying to find these terrorist groups. Kind of off topic a little bit, but whenever why I love Rogue One. So there's a line in there whenever they're fighting, and he was and one of the stormtroopers said like, we got to find these terrorists.
Yeah.
So small, such a small detail, but that's why I love it because it's like, okay. This is great. This is exactly what I wanted to hear.
To them, that's basically what they are.
Yeah, so like seeing that in episode 4 and then episode 5, you see kind of like the truth unmasked with Darth Vader being Luke's father.
Yeah.
I can see why it could be such like a holy shit moment, like a shell shocker, but and then they lose. That's such a key element to episode 5, and that's why it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies of all time.
Let me preface this. There were, as Joseph knows, since we've been friends since goddamn 7th grade.
So about 14 years?
About 14, 15, going on 15 years, something like that. I can't do math, so I won't even try. But
it's 14 years.
So, like 2 things that have always been a part of my life.
Wrestling.
And Star Wars.
Yep.
Okay. I've loved Star Wars. You took me to go see
episode 6 of my birthday.
7.
7.
Yeah. We went to Del Frisco's, and your dad got us like some of the greatest food I've ever had in my entire fucking life.
And then we went
Shout out Jamie.
And then
Jamie Ballard.
Yeah, then it was raining hard as hell.
It's hell.
And then after that, we went straight to the movie theater.
Straight to the movie theater, Harkin.
Yeah, you dropped your phone?
Like, nah, my dad.
You're one thing.
Yeah, but not so. But so you know, like I have been a Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah.
For like I'm 26. I think I'm 26. I'm 26 years old. I've been a Star Wars fan since I saw episode 3 in theaters.
That shit was fire.
Fucking fire.
That shit was fire.
At the time.
It's funny. I would actually rank that around like one of the best Star Wars.
I think that is the best Star Wars. Like, if I'm being completely honest.
With Jedis or just like in general?
In general. Like, if I'm being completely honest, like...
I think Rogue One is...
I'm sorry. With like, in terms of like the...
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like the 1 through 6 and then including
everything.
Abrams.
I'm including everything.
Oh, including everything? No, it is Rogue One. Like, without a doubt.
Yeah, mine's
like,
Rogue
it's the greatest
One,
Star Wars everything.
Then it's episode 3.
Then it's episode 3.
Yeah.
And then episode 5.
Yeah.
So like, but like I'm saying, like, but you know, like, and yeah, we agree on that, like for sure. But what's it called? Like, you know, huge Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now, man. And I put watching Dune. Dune came out in 2021. I didn't watch that until August of last year, right?
Yes.
And you were the first person I called when I watched that movie because I told you a long time ago, Joseph, you tell me to watch something, I'm gonna watch it. You said Dune is one of your favorite movies ever, so I watched it. I was like, okay, I see what this dude's talking about. This movie is incredible, man. Like, what the golly, this is incredible. Like the visuals, the cinematography, the music, like this is
everything.
The costumes, bro, like the world, everything is just beautiful. The Oscar Isaac, beautiful. Like everybody's just beautiful. And this second movie came out, Joseph. This second movie came out, and I'm not so sure that that's not one of the greatest sequels ever. I'm not sure if that's not one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I'm not so sure that movie right there, like let's say like, because in my opinion, I told when I asked you, so like, because you said the sixth one is like talking about Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
You said that one is like okay. I think it's not that great in my opinion.
I think it's compared to the rest. That's what I was comparing it to.
Yeah.
So like, episode 1's good, not great. Episode 2 is doo-doo. Episode 6, 7, and 8. Or I'm sorry, episode 7, 8, 9.
Whatever.
It didn't need to exist.
Didn't.
It didn't need to exist. I
think you could have did something with episode 8.
Like, I think John Boyega's character and Kylo Ren were like the highlight. That was it.
And like, what you could have did with those characters, you know,
waste.
Just a waste. You know what I mean? Like truly a waste. And that's why like I'm kind of like I'm mad because I'm not gonna lie. Like I know a lot of people hated it, and I hated it when I first saw it. But the Rian Johnson one, the eighth one. I remember watching that in theaters and hating it. I was like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And I remember like to this day that movie still has like phenomenal ratings for some reason. But I still do like I remember watching it right before the ninth one came out and being like, you know what? Like I can see some type of vision with this. And I'm opening up my mind to like see like where this is going. And then that ninth one came out and I was like, this is like no. Like this was just god awful.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Like this was like the worst.
Episode 9 was a piece of shit movie. Episode 8 was less shit, but it was still shit.
Yeah, still shit. But this is where I'm going with this, right? So, all right. So we can agree 7.5 to 8 for the first two Star Wars movies, right? For Dune, that's more like a 9.5.
Yeah.
To 9 to 9.5.
Yeah.
For Dune,
easily.
for the first two Dune movies,
yeah,
right?
Easily. So,
and the third one, we on a scale of 1 to 5, we'd say more like a 2.5 to 3, right? For the third Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's in that trilogy.
I would say like my metric scale is like 1 through 5.
Right, that's what I'm going off of. I'm going off of your metric scale.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying, like 2.5 to 3 for the third one.
Yeah. So I would rank episode 3
third. Out of those
episode 3 Revenge of the Sith? No. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. But take that one out. Like take that one out. Just like off of like the original 3 the
original 3?
The original 3 like New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and then
Return of the
Jedi.
Like as in all 3 of them?
As in all 3 of them. But the first 2 together, that's we said like 7.5 to 8, right?
Yeah, so that'd be like a 4.5 out of 5.
Or 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, so that would be
more like a 3.5 to 4.
Yes, that would be about a 3.5 at that point.
And I would say we would say Dune is more like a 4.5 to 5.
It's very close to a 5.
Very close to a 5. Those first 2 movies.
Very close to a 5 because it's just so well done.
So well done. It's beautiful.
It's just a beautiful film.
It's a visual masterpiece.
It is because like during that time period, if you want to argue like, well, it's different times, there was so many great movies that came out during like that time period. I still personally think Taxi Driver is still one of the best shot films ever made.
Ever.
So I like you said, The
Godfather,
Raging Bull is fucking gorgeous.
Visual masterpiece.
So I think it has nothing to do with like the age. It has all to do with like how you shoot it.
Even in like, I know it came out in '84. And granted, like Star Wars came out like I think a little bit before then. I can't remember the exact year the first one came out. I think it's '78. Mm-hmm. But Dune, if we're being completely honest, Dune '84, David Lynch's Dune was it doesn't look the greatest, but it's still a good looking film compared to like what Star Wars is, in my opinion. Like compared to those Star Wars,
I would say with David Lynch, if we want to compare with David Lynch, I would say Mulholland Drive looks good than Episode 1. I would say, but
that came out in like 2001.
Yeah, but 1980. But Mulholland Drive also came around that time period.
What, for the newer Star Wars? For that?
Yeah, for the newer ones. So,
but I'm just comparing like.
Yeah, I know for the first ones. I was just saying overall.
But no, I feel you.
So like,
compare, absolutely.
Yeah, because like Sunset Boulevard, 8.5, French Dispatch, Citizens Kane, It's a Wonderful Life, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. All these movies I just listed, I think, are better looking than the original Star Wars. But Star Wars had such a trope, had such a lore to it that people cannot ignore. That George Lucas was a genius in his own right within that. I still need to see American Graffiti. Like that's one. Excuse me. That's one movie that I need to see because I heard that's one of his greatest films he's ever made. And it's crazy because he's also the man who made Star Wars. But it's like comparing like Star Wars to Dune. Star Wars. How can I put this? Sports reference. Star Wars is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Dune is LeBron James. If that makes sense.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I really can't compare it because it's still New Age, but it's not New Age.
I would say Star Wars is more Wilt because a lot of it is a lot of shit that was done a long time ago that has no relevance to now and that over time has gone to shit. And Dune is LeBron, something like that. Dune is like Shaq or LeBron or something.
I would say
like
LeBron because LeBron is like when you think of basketball, you think of LeBron. When you think of sci-fi, like right now, when you think of sci-fi, you're gonna think of Dennis or Denise. You're gonna think of him now versus George Lucas. Probably. Because George Lucas. But the thing is, like George Lucas laid the foundation, kind of like what you said with Russell.
See,
that's what I compared with Kareem because like Kareem is like he laid this like foundation and what a champion should look like.
But like in my opinion, like Kareem is, and this going into like now my basketball opinion, but like Kareem in my opinion is like the third greatest player of all time. I don't think Star Wars is the third greatest anything of all time.
Would you say it's the third greatest sci-fi movie of all time?
I would say.
What's better than Star Wars? Or with the same lore?
Dune. Alien. I would say Blade Runner. Just those three off top. Like, off the top of my head.
I would say it's Dune now. But
can we throw Guardians of the Galaxy in there? Is that a sci-fi movie? It's in space.
Technically, yes. But
I would throw that. And that's a three-headed movie, too. That's a trilogy right there.
That is a trilogy.
So
I would say
you can really say that's better.
That is better. But I would say like right now it would be Dune only because it's better visually wise, but I would say Star Wars would be number 2 because of the
sci-fi.
Yeah, because of the history. what it brings. I'm not even joking. Like if what they did in Rogue One is a glimpse of what they should do, like that's literally what they should do. If they literally,
I'm telling you, that's not what they're gonna do.
I know.
I'm
holding on to hope.
And bro, like Joseph, like you gotta understand. I held on to that hope as a Star Wars fan, as a kid who you don't understand.
You know what you are?
What?
You're a Cowboys fan in Star Wars.
Basically, I'm basically a Cowboys fan. I'm you right now, bro. Like, it's like,
yeah.
I saw, like, I know what I watched as a kid. I was like, this is beautiful. This is great. This is what, like, almost, like, this is what made me want to watch, not really, but, like, this is, like, what makes me want to, like, get more into, like, being a nerd almost.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, this lore is so crazy. So you hold out hope. You're like, it's gonna get better. You keep telling yourself, there's no way, it's too good to not get good. And then, you know what happens? They disappoint you every time. You think you finally got it. You think, all right, bro, they finally got it with the Mandalorian. They're finally gonna give us something good. And you know what they do? By the third season, they fucking ruin it. They fucking ruin it.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the Ahsoka series.
You didn't need to.
Yeah.
Nobody did. I watched the first 2 episodes and I said, after the first episode, why am I still watching this?
I will say the Obi-Wan Kenobi show wasn't
awful
until it ended.
What?
Did you not see the Darth Vader fight versus Obi-Wan?
I don't give a fuck.
Bro, that was
cool. It was great.
It was one of the greatest.
No, that's cool. That's great. But
I will say
don't remember Star Wars for fights. Nobody does.
I do.
just for the fight?
For the fight. I mean, Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn, General Grievous versus... I mean, I remember Anakin versus Obi-Wan whenever they first started.
But that movie was good. Like, we just said that movie is, like, the best Star Wars. And, that's a memorable fight, but we don't remember because of the fight. We remember more because of Order 66. Like, how you gonna kill all them niggas?
Okay,
Anakin
I got
killed
one
all
for
them
you.
kids. What?
Count Dooku versus Yoda.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
But like, that's episode 2.
No, that's episode 3.
No, that was episode 2.
Oh, Dooku. No, that shit was ass. I'm thinking Palpatine versus Yoda.
No,
that shit was better.
That was better. But I would say Count Dooku versus Yoda was great. I really liked that fight. I really did like that fight.
Bro, this is like, that was like, I remember like that movie, like I had it on my computer, so like I would literally watch that movie all day, every day. I would do all the fights, like when they go to the Coliseum in Geonosis. Like I would reenact that with my red lightsaber all the time in my room, and I reenact everybody doing their scenes and shit, everybody doing their fighting. Like I was that kid, bro.
Yeah.
So you understand, like this means a lot to me. Like when I say, like when I come to the conclusion, you know, this isn't recency bias. Like I know what I just watched. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Dune 2 is a masterpiece.
Like, bro, like I'm telling you, like, and like this is where I was gonna get to, because like let's say like so again, going back to the scale, right? Like basically, like we're saying that like the first 2 Dune movies are better than the first 2 Star Wars movies. That's what I'm getting to, right? So let's say, and the third Star Wars movie was okay. Let's say that the third Dune movie is okay, right? Which it won't be, because there's because of what they're gonna have to throw in there. It's gonna be a fucking this. Like we thought the second one was great, with Denis directing this hell, and your boy doing the cinematography that we can't remember his name. We think that this third one's not gonna be great.
Yeah,
Joseph, like we may see like one of like the most important, beautiful. We thought the second one was good. Boy. I'm telling you, like, bro, like Joseph, like, I'm sorry, like I'm to the point that I think Dune.
Greg Fraser,
that's the cinematographer.
Yeah,
I do think Dune is like one of like.
You want to hear something crazy? He also did Rogue One.
No, I'm not surprised.
And the Batman.
And it's funny because the Batman.
Yeah.
And we love all 3 of those movies, and those 3 are 3 of the best movies that we've seen in the last like close to maybe 10 years.
Yeah, he did a lot more, but
a lot more.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
But he did Vice, and he did The Mandalorian as well for some episodes.
I'm sure, like the first 2 seasons, even like
Probably.
the 3rd season was like it looked.
All of them look great.
They all look great.
Yeah, so I would say Dune is probably one of the greatest sci-fi adventures that I've seen
ever.
Oh, without a question of a doubt. I don't think there's anything better. As I said, Star Wars is number 2 for me just because of like what it. As I said, like if maybe not 2, but if they don't fuck it up, that's the only thing.
They're going to.
They probably will.
They will.
But like what they have accomplished, and I'm hoping this time off, because the last movie they made, or they're making TV shows, so I can't say too much.
They're supposed to be making a movie about like Ahsoka, the Mandalorian, and like Obi-Wan, and like
They better not, because like
that's what the next movie's gonna be.
Yeah, because like if so, because like dog, why?
Why? It's gonna be awful.
Yeah, like why don't you do something like there was a director, I forgot who it was gonna be, but it was gonna be like something about like how it all started, like
The Old Republic.
Yeah,
that's what needs to happen.
Yeah,
that's
so,
the only way you can really save this this Star
franchise.
Because
like
that's really it.
Yeah, because Dune right now.
They're in their Old Republic era, basically.
Pretty much, I would say Dune is not a comparison of Star Wars. It's not a comparison of like maybe the greatest trilogies of all time. There's only 2 that I can think of on the top of my head. It's the Dark Knight series, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
What other great trilogy that you could say? What, Die Hard, fucking Lethal Weapon, Alien, Guardians of the Galaxy.
We do have to throw that in there.
Every trilogy has a weak point. So, like...
Yeah, the second one.
Second one.
Yeah. No, for sure. But it was still good, though.
It was still good. Yeah. But, like, there's only 3 that accomplish that.
Right.
And if Dune Part 3 does that, there's only a few that have done that.
Mm.
That is...
That's, like, unprecedented territory.
Yeah. So, like, it's the first... So, for me, it's, like... So, like, as we were just mentioning, like, the first 3 Star Wars. So, Episode 4 was good. Episode 5 is great. Episode 6 is...
Whatever.
The Lord of the Rings. Episode 1 was good. Episode 2 was okay, but everyone that loved it loved that ending, so it kind of made up for it. Then Part 3. Then it's the Batman series. Episode 1 was okay. Episode 2 was fantastic. Episode 3 was good. It was good. It ended the series. There's like some bad parts in it, but whatever. There's not shit. You can even throw fucking Pirates of the Caribbean like that. Like as far as like a trilogy series, because like 1 was okay.
I only like the first one and the third one. Like,
well, then you know what I'm saying. Like, but there's still like, but you still could say like even with the second one with those flaws.
I thought it was ass. Like I thought it was awful.
I
like an awful movie. I'm sorry.
I like the second one.
Like I remember even as a kid, I was like, bro, I hate this shit. Like I'm about to turn on Ed and Eddie, bro. Like
I like the second one.
Yeah.
I have like a soft spot. I don't know why. For
heroes.
For like heroes like losing, because I'm like it's just not realistic that this one person would always win.
Do I know another trilogy? Mm-hmm. Captain America. All 3 of those movies.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to look at Marvel like that.
That's the thing, and I was thinking that. Like I hesitated a little bit before I said it, but I was like, but I mean, we put Guardians of the Galaxy in there,
so like you want to put that first one's okay.
I love the first one.
Second one was excellent. The third one was the best. So like yeah, if you want to put it like that way, then yeah. But there's only I would say standalones then.
Okay.
That part of a cinematic universe. There's not a lot.
Yeah, there's not.
So I would say if Dune can complete this, I think it would be better than both of them. I think it would be better than The Dark Knight. I think it would be better than Lord of the Rings. That's my personal opinion.
Same.
Because the first 2 are so goddamn well. So done excellent. You understand the story, the characters, everything about it,
right?
And all like the little things about it, all the little Easter eggs that are there, all like the lore and understanding what everything is going on. It's such an excellent movie. I have no other words to explain it. Like, you need to see it.
I think like the story of how it couldn't be adapted for so long. I think that only adds on to like how great this movie is. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like not really the same thing, but like if like the Gma's in there. If like the Bears were like to finally get that quarterback, it's like, bro, like people have said for so long that nobody can succeed like in this city, in this stadium, because like what, you know what I mean?
The
but
history
like
of it.
because of the history of this team and this organization. But like if whoever it is, whether it's Caleb, whether it's Drake May, whether it's fucking Jaden Daniels, if one of them goes in there and they actually succeed, it's like, bro, like in our lifetime, even in our parents' lifetime, in Gmo's grandparents' lifetime, they've never had a good quarterback for more than 2 to 3 years, bro.
No.
Ever. Because it's just so hard to compete there for whatever reason. And so if they finally do, then
it's like a curse.
It's basically like a curse, bro. So like if they finally have somebody that goes in there and is actually like good for multiple years, then it's like, bro, you're gonna be we're gonna be building so many statues for you. You thought Walter Payton had statues? Bro, you're about to get so many fucking statues, bro. We've never had this before. Never had this kind of consistency.
And that's kind of like
it's kind of like Denis. Like with this franchise, bro, like again, this franchise was considered unfilmable because of how much shit was in it. But he knew, for whatever reason, nobody else decided, like, man, maybe we should just break this shit up and like to multiple movies. Nobody else decided that, but Denis did. Our boy, our fucking boy. Like, we know this dude.
And he's already dipped in sci-fi with Blade Runner. So
and
like,
Arrival.
Yeah. So he already knew a little bit about it, what he wanted to do. Cause like,
and he said he grew up like watching the Lynch film and loving it. Like,
that's funny.
It's crazy. Like, you know, we're
like,
two people that can't even finish it, but he loves it.
Yeah. I think it's crazy because like, whenever he was talking, like when he did Blade Runner, I remember watching the first one, and I loved the movie. And I was like, it doesn't need a second movie.
It really didn't.
Yeah, so I was like, it kind of explained everything.
Yeah.
So as soon as the second one came out, I was kind of skeptical,
Right.
and then as soon as I finished it, I was like, nah.
Makes sense.
I was like, this movie is, nah, bro. Like, that's all I could say. I was like, nah, this man did the impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like if he would directed Star Wars Episode 6, 7, and 8,
bro,
it would probably be hands down,
bro,
in every category as the greatest sci-fi adventure ever.
I think that's where I'm at. Is like, fuck everything. Just give Star Wars to Denis. Everybody move out the way, like a LeBron ISO. Just everybody move out the way. Let him do what he does. If it's gonna be rated R, if it's gonna be rated PG-13, who cares? Let him do his thing, because that's the only way this is gonna be good, in my opinion. Like, I love Jon Favreau. He's phenomenal.
He's the reason why even Mandalorian even became a thing.
Became a thing, bro. Jon Favreau.
I don't know. I gotta double check, but I do not think he that he did the newest season. But I'll check on that later.
Yeah, it was like a combination of him and the dude that does like the Clone Wars and shit. It was like, a little too soon. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the way I see about it. But I was gonna ask, are we looking on time right now?
Yeah, I was about to tell you. Yeah, we're getting to the end.
Oh, damn. Okay, we're at the end here. Okay, I got you. Well, thank you for tuning in with us with the Wise Guys. This is our newest episode.
Watch Dune.
Go watch Dune. Watch as much time as you can. Please like, subscribe, comment, please. It helps the channel grow. We're gonna come back next time. Hopefully, we can watch something maybe shitty or something maybe better than Dune 2. I highly doubt that, but all right, now we'll see what happens. We'll see. But anyways, thank you again. We'll see you on the next episode.
And it rolled like butts, and I got a limousine sitting out there a mile long with 25 women.